Hi, and welcome to Funny Minds. I'm your host, Lynn B, and my co-host is about to sit down. He's running.
Oh, all right.
And this is Eddie Viss, and our
Hey, JD.
guest, hi JD. Our guest is JD
Yeah.
Rowlands, and he is a comedian and a model. And you come from Kansas City, I understand.
Uh, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I'm originally from Houston, but yes, I live in Kansas City right now.
Okay.
That makes you a rock star. I'm a Chiefs fan.
No, not a Chiefs fan.
Oh.
Man.
Yeah. I'm actually a Steelers fan. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Terry
Yes.
Bradshaw, I love him. I wish I could get him on the show. If you have any influence, tell him I want him.
I mean, I don't have the influence yet, but hopefully one day.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So what made you go into comedy?
Uh, well, it it's a couple of that's actually a really long story, but growing up, I just always made people laugh. You know, at first, it was football. I was trying to play football, and then I ended up getting into a car accident, and that ended my career of playing football. So, I ran track, high school, college, went to the army, um, and I want to say about 2006, I had my son, and then around 2000, and then I had a hard time trying to survive, take care of my son and
Right.
work and so I hit like rock bottom, and I just asked God, I was like, God, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing. What do you want me to do? And by this time, my mom and dad, they had ended up getting divorced, and my dad and one of my brothers were living in Florida. And my dad was like, come down to Florida, get on your feet, and we'll figure something out from there. So I go down to Florida, and I want to say probably about 2 months of being in Florida. So I went down there like January 2010. So February, I was hanging out with my brother and some of his friends, and I was making everybody laugh. And I've always made people laugh, like young, from the moment I was able to talk, I was always making people laugh. And so they're laughing, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking, I'm like, these people don't even know me, and they just cracking up. And so I was like, all right, God, I get it. I get it. And on the way home, on the way home, I'm talking to my brother in the car, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. He's like, do what? I was like, I'm gonna get on stage. I'm gonna be a comedian. He looked at me, he's like, it's about time. Yeah, so
Well, get your ass in gear, boy.
right. So
Get up there.
I called around looking for open mic. This was in Jacksonville, Florida,
Oh,
where
Jacksonville. Okay.
Oh, all right.
and I called around looking for open mics, trying to get on stage. And like the comedy clubs are like, oh, you gotta go through our showcase and you gotta go through our class, and our class costs this much and that much. I'm like, shh, I'm broke. I ain't got no class money. And so I called this lady, her name was Miss Dana, and she was like, I'll put anybody on my stage that want to get on there. Only got three rules. Don't stand me up, don't go over your time, and don't steal anyone's material.
Okay.
Like, all right,
Okay,
cool.
that's fair.
So I was like, so she was like, you missed this month's, but I can put you on for March. I was like, all right. So she says it's the first Sunday of every month. So I was like, all right. So I went home, wrote some jokes, went over with my brother. He was like, oh, say it this way and take this out and do that. And he's like, you remember how we used to act at church? Yeah, do that when you do this scene. And I'm like, all right. So I take that and I'm practicing all month long. And she's calling me every week. You still coming, right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be there. Every week she's calling. And then she called me the morning of. She said, it's today. You gonna make it? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be there. So I get there. The host come up to me. He's like, you're the first one going up. I'm
Oh no.
like, come on, man. You just
The
gonna
leader
throw
of
me
the
to the
pack.
wolves. Like, you just gonna
Jumping the
straight throw me
pool.
to the wolves. So he said, this is what I'm gonna do. He's like, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. If you're killing it, I'm gonna let you go to 5 minutes. But the first rule of doing stand up is if you dying, know when to get off the stage. Know when to sit down. When you dying, nice over with, sit down. Like, all right. So I get up there and I'm rocking it. And they rocking with me. I hit the 3 minute mark. I look at him. He gives me the go ahead. I'm like, all right, cool. So I finish out the rest of my set because I had everything timed out for 5 minutes. So I'm like, all
Okay.
right, so I know how everything goes. So I knew I wasn't gonna go over my time. And then when I finished, I got a standing ovation and I was hooked. Like, yeah, I was hooked like a crackhead.
That was the big leap.
That's your
Yeah,
drug.
yeah.
That's your drug of choice, comedy.
Right,
And comedy is
right.
many
So
things. It's therapy, it's drug of choice,
yeah.
it's a lot of different things. to a
Oh
lot of
God,
different people.
yeah.
Hey,
Oh yeah.
JD, people don't realize, because they hear a comedian talk about, doing 30 minutes, doing an hour, or even 5 minutes when you're starting off, and they don't realize how long 5 minutes is when you're standing alone on stage.
Oh man.
You
Yeah.
think it's 5 minutes, like, oh, that's all I get is 5 minutes. But when you got 5 minutes worth of material, it's like an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when you're new and you're trying to feel your way and build a
Right.
rhythm and stuff like that. It's I've done it, and 5 minutes. It's like the longest 5 minutes.
Yeah. Now when you get deep into it, like I'm 13 years into it now. So when you
Yeah.
get into it and you get a rhythm and you just know 5 minutes ain't enough. Cause now you're like, oh, I wish I had more time. I
Mhm.
want to do this, that. But it's like, oh man, 5 minutes wasn't enough. But yeah, when you first start out, that
Mhm.
5 minutes is like, oh man, that was the longest, especially if you're dying. If you dying up there, it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, how long was I up there? I was up there for like 2 hours, right? No, it's 3 minutes. What? Oh man. Yeah.
Play the music. Play the music.
I went to a
Right.
comedy show a
Right.
couple of weeks ago, and the announcer, he was okay, but the first comedian, he just bombed from the minute he came on, and I felt so bad for him, and he knew it. He knew he was like not winning the crowd over at all. It's like everybody's like thumbing their fingers, like, okay, let's have the star, let's have the headliner, which was very
Right.
funny, but I felt so bad for him. So I gave him a card and I said, if you'd like to come on the show, and I thought, if he does, well, we'll work with him. We'll just
Yeah.
get some stuff out of him. We'll work with him, whatever. But he really wasn't made for comedy at all.
Well,
Yeah.
you
I mean,
gotta you gotta
sometimes
fail
it,
before you succeed with comedy. I mean, you gotta take your lumps like anything else,
oh
like
yeah.
music or anything else. You just gotta get out there and take your lumps and take them and take them and take them, and eventually it gets less and less and less. Like you just own it. Now you're
Right.
13 years in, and you get up there. You're excited to get up there now. The
Hmm.
nerves are gone. You got a lot. You're excited about your material. You got a rhythm going. And now you've been at the point for some time now where you're probably just getting out there and working on new stuff all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I tell everybody all the time because like um people come to me like, oh yeah, I was told that I should be a comedian. I'm like, it is not what you think it is. Like just because you make people laugh in the conversation don't mean you get on stage and do it. That's like in a
Right,
conversation, you
right.
got people leading you into jokes. They say something, you feed off of that. On stage, you sit up there, they call you out there, and the audience is sitting like this. All right, make us laugh.
Yeah.
And it's like you got to bring them into your world. It's not like you ain't got no buffer, you ain't got no one out there saying, okay, now say this, and then no, you out there and you're like, look, boom, and it's like, uh, I tell comedians, I say, if you can bomb and still get back on stage,
Mhm.
then you cut out to do it. But if you
Yeah.
bomb and say this ain't for you, then go ahead and go because it's not for you
Then
because you're
go,
gonna
yeah.
bomb a whole lot
Skip
more
skip
times.
that step because you're already getting there.
I love when I go to a comedy show. I love to sit up front because I love to be picked on. Because I love that back and forth. Like, pick me because I'm gonna give you your run for your money. Type of
Yeah,
thing. I love
I
it.
did a I did a show in Idaho last month and um I was I was the only black person in the room. But I was the comedian, so
Yeah,
it
I
was like
guess you
these two
must have
older
stood
ladies.
out, huh, JD?
Right. And so it was these two older ladies, they were sitting up front. And I was telling a joke about how um I was talking about dating and like every woman's dating profile looks the same on these dating sites. If you just want sex, then look over me. And I'm like, ladies, look, please stop saying it. Because for one, every man you meet wants it. I don't care how respectful he is. I don't care how nice he is. I don't care how quiet he is. I don't care if he take you to meet his parents on the first night. He wants to get it. Okay. I'm like, I'm convinced that women want to date other women because everything women list in their profile is stuff that women do. I want someone that I can talk to. We don't talk. Men don't talk. We're not talking. That's not what we want to do. Okay. If you meet a man and he's talking a lot, he's gonna talk himself right out of your panties. That's what's gonna happen. And it was these two, and I said, it don't care if we don't care how old you are, how long as you legal. Yeah, we were getting these two older ladies sitting up front. I said, yep, y'all too. Y'all ain't out the clear. Y'all meet a man on the right night, they gonna give you the business. Okay, it don't even matter. And they was blushing. I was making them blush the whole time because you know they they seen everything and heard anything that I can ever say, but putting them on the spot, it was like they was blushing, they turning red and everything, and
That's funny. That's funny.
yeah,
So
but it's
you travel around you go to different states, different clubs.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
doing a little
I
road time, huh?
yeah, yeah, I do that. Because a lot of people they ask you like, oh, well, where you do comedy at in the city? And I tell them, I say, look, I'm not a quote unquote local comedian. I said, if you are a local comedian, if you're only doing stand up in your city, you ain't making no money and you ain't getting nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you try to make some money, you gotta get out on the road. You gotta get out and see other cities and stuff. So I'm like, I don't have a set place in town that I do stand up at. Like I may go to some open mics, and work on some stuff, but for the most part, I hit the road. I hit
Mm-hmm.
the road. I
Okay.
book my own, I book my own venues, get my own crowd and stuff to come out, and I
Okay.
do it like that. Yeah.
So
And then you make time for modeling too?
Uh, believe it or not, I actually don't like taking pictures.
it's funny you say that, but a lot of people in show business don't like to see themselves. There's a lot of actors and actresses that won't watch their own movies,
Yeah,
or musicians
yeah.
that
Right.
won't watch themselves on stage. Same thing with modeling. Someone sees you and goes, "Man, perfect," but you look at you in the mirror and you're like, ah.
Well, right. Well, see, for the longest, for even growing up, I wasn't the person that women would like go to. It'd be like me and my brothers and my cousins and my friends, we all hanging out, and everybody got a girl except for me. And then the extra girl that they did get for me is hanging out with somebody else there. So I'm just like, well, and that's when I would just be shit. I was making everybody laugh. Like, well, shoot, since y'all gonna be talking to each other, I'm just gonna be talking to everybody. How about that? And the funny thing was, I was like, okay, all these women, all these girls and stuff, they talking to them, and they the broke ones, because I was the only one that ever had a job. I was like, they the broke ones, and I got the money. Okay, whatever, But yeah, that's how I did. So I wasn't used to it. So when I started doing stand up, um, a lot of women and a lot of like local talent agencies and managers and stuff would always come up to me after my shows and be like, "Hey, you should model. You should model." And there's like your fan base of women, and which is like 80% of my fan base are women.
Okay.
And so they're like, so I have a lot of women content because I know my crowd, and
Mhm.
so they're like, you should model. You should model. It's like I don't like taking pictures. It's like you got sex appeal. Fuck out of here. I ain't got no damn sex appeal.
Oh, I saw some of your pictures. They're really great.
Yeah, Yeah, I had to learn. I had to learn. I had to learn because I really did not like taking pictures. I hated it. Um, I actually just embraced. Um, I want to say maybe like 2 years ago. I just embraced the quote unquote sex appeal.
Okay.
So 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 then like people, some of these photo shoots that I was doing like they would say, all right, take your shirt off, do this and do that, stand like this and show this and move. So it's like, okay. So then I'm going back and I'm looking at the pictures. I'm like, huh, I guess I am kind of sexy, huh?
Yeah, there you
I like
But but I still it's still like I say, um, like I give women this credit. See, a woman can handle women can handle men giving them attention. It's nothing new to them, right? A man, no matter how good we look, no matter how much money we have, no matter how many women are hanging off of us, we are never prepared for the attention that we get from women.
Mm.
We're never prepared for
You gotta learn
I
how to
can't.
deal with it.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I'm on the other end.
it. Right.
No,
Right.
it is
We're
an
never
odd,
prepared for it.
it's an odd feeling. I mean, you do have to learn how to handle it and
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
take it in stride because JD, you can't play into these women's egos. You know how it goes. You gotta play a
Right.
little hard to get. You gotta play a
Right.
little like, yeah, whatever.
No, wait a minute. That's our deal. That's our
Yeah,
deal.
but that's but see what I've learned is playing hard to get with these women. They worse than the men. They are worse than the men.
If you ever go to a male review, they're worse than men. Believe me.
Yes. Yes. Look, man, I've had to come up to me after shows. Can I get a picture? Yeah, sure. Like I hate taking pictures, but I'm like, okay, you pay for a ticket, then you pay for a picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they'll come up to me and we taking the pictures and what you don't see behind the picture is them trying to squeeze on my ass. And I'm like,
Stalker.
I'm like, don't do that or whatever. Or what you don't see is like when they do give me a hug, like after the picture, before the picture, they whisper in my ear like, if you want to do something on the side, my husband ain't gotta know. I'm like, yo, like your man is standing right there. Like, they grab me at the crotch area and stuff, and
Oh
they
yeah.
I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
like,
Well, they're
I'm like,
sending
y'all
their
are worse.
message.
They
It's
are
it's
they
like
are aggressive.
animals that send
Yes.
out the pheromones. Yeah.
I worked at
Oh
a I
yeah,
worked at a
they out
club
there.
years ago, and they had a male review once a month, and I would bartend that. Obviously, I was not a dancer, so the dancers, the guys would come in from the city. This is up in New Jersey, and these women would come and pile in and start drinking downstairs at the bar. Then they head upstairs to the show, keep drinking, and as soon as those cats hit the stage, these women went nuts.
It's like
I'm
Magic
talking,
Mike.
I'm talking on the table, on the chairs, legs wrapped around the dancers, picking them up, grabbing their crotch. I mean, you go to a strip club with guys,
Mhm.
they're sitting there like a pathetic, just drooling, you know, waving money. Women out of control, out of control.
Right. That's because it is a double standard. It's a
Mm-hmm.
double standard. See, at a strip club where the women are dancing, can't touch them. No, it's not. Strip clubs are
Nope.
not my thing. Because my thing is like, yo, if I'm giving her some money, then I need to get something back other than a dance. I can look at
Can't
somebody,
touch this.
naked on TV or on my laptop for free. Okay, I can see naked women for free on my laptop. So if I'm giving you some money, look, I need to touch something, grab something. You got to give me something back for what I'm paying for. But if a woman go to a
Yeah,
male
but
strip club, they
if you watch
grabbing,
the
they touching
if you watch the
everything.
Chippendales movie, they did plenty of stuff backstage. So
That's a movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's backstage. But like at the male strip clubs, women they can touch and grab. You ain't even got to be backstage to touch and grab on them.
No,
no, that's
no,
true.
right there, right there. They're
Right
swinging.
then and there.
They are swinging for the fences.
Yeah, yeah. It's a huge double standard.
Hell
So
yeah.
so what's on the horizon for you? You have a lot of gigs that you're gonna be traveling for. for a while?
Well, I actually, when I get off here with y'all, I have a comedy special that I
Oh,
filmed last year, and so it's about to come out. And so when I get off of here, then I gotta talk to the distributors, and so see where they're gonna be putting it at and when it's coming out, and then it's gonna be coming on the Tubi. So I haven't gotten the release date for that yet. Also, um,
Is it an hour or 30 minutes?
yeah, it's an
Hour?
hour.
Full hour?
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
an hour.
is it specifically you or is it
It's
a
just me,
couple? Oh,
just me on
okay.
stage. My comedy special. It's
Who are you
called
gonna who's gonna put it out for you?
uh. Well, the distributors they're working with a number of streaming services, and then they're also trying to get into some stores
Mm-hmm.
and everything.
Okay.
And they're looking at Tubi and a lot of other streaming services too. We was trying to get Amazon, but Amazon
Mm-hmm.
don't want profanity in the name. They wanted me to change the name,
Right.
and I was like,
Oh,
Right.
I
come on.
can't change the
Really?
name because I had too much.
Yeah.
So the name of the special called "Fuck Your Feelings." Yes, it's called "Fuck Your Feelings," and
But you
so
can do
I
that on YouTube, not Instagram. Instagram won't take it either.
right, right.
Yeah.
Instagram knocked me off for something that we said.
Well, no, actually, I put the trailer on Instagram. Yeah, I put the trailer for it on Instagram. It's on my Instagram page. And
And
yeah,
they took it?
it's on there.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
Maybe
on
they
there.
changed. I don't know. I begged forgiveness. I don't know what I did, but I begged forgiveness. They don't
Yeah.
tell you what you
They got
did.
pissed off at her purple hair.
So I'm doing that, and then I'm getting some dates together for the tour. So
Okay.
I'm working on that,
Are you gonna
and
go
then
on the
I'm
road
writing the next special.
with other comedians, or just your
It's
group?
just me. What I'm gonna do is I'm a headline every city, but I'm gonna get
Okay.
local comedians. I'm gonna get local comedians to come out and open up for me.
Okay.
Do you do a circuit like the improv, or do you just
No,
wherever?
I um clubs. Like I would love to do clubs, but they're good for like depending on who you're opening up for
Mhm.
and who's seeing you, what city you in. Like that's what they're good for. Getting
Yeah.
your
Okay.
chops. If you're in a city that has a really good comedy scene and you can get in the comedy club, yeah, yeah, I would definitely do that. But
Have
if
you
you're
done
trying
side
to,
splitters in Tampa?
no, I haven't did them.
Okay.
I haven't did them.
Because they're pretty big, so you might want to
Yeah, we have
contact them.
I'm down here in Tampa, Florida. And we have an improv, obviously, but Side Splitters is one of our main.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
one
gets
of the main clubs.
all the big names in
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
That would like if you came to Tampa, I would
Uh,
shoot you over to Side Splitters.
Okay. Well, see, the only thing about the comedy clubs is the money.
Mm.
That's it. If you're not the headliner, you ain't gonna make anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you're not a name, you
Mm.
you ain't gonna make anything. Like their
Okay.
feature acts, they're only gonna pay you maybe like 200, make 250. And if I'm coming from Kansas City,
Mm.
going all the way down there for 250 just to do like
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
minutes,
No, it's
that's
not
not
worth
worth
it.
it.
Now
That's not worth it.
you owe
So
money by the time you get
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
right, right. So that's why I go the route that I go by putting on my own shows and rent out my own venues and stuff like
Mhm.
that because I can make I can make 6,000 in the weekend
Yeah,
Oh,
compared
okay.
to compared to 250 for 30 minutes. Like, really? Okay. I can rent out a 100 seater, do 4 shows, right? Like 2 shows on the Friday night, 2 shows on the Saturday night,
Okay.
have have about 5 different local comedians on each show.
hmm
So it's a different crowd coming out with every show.
yeah,
Right, right.
About $25 a ticket. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That
Okay.
makes. I
Yeah,
mean, that
that
makes sense. You know, it's the same
yeah.
thing with music. When I was touring musically, I mean, we get contracted shows where we get X amount of dollars, and then we
Mhm.
got other shows that were ticketed, and that's where you really make the money because if you sell that out,
Yeah.
that
Oh
adds
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That adds
Yeah.
up.
Right.
you
Right.
know.
So
So
like
that
if
makes
if
sense.
yeah, so unless you have a name in you in these comedy clubs, because when comedy clubs book a big name, they already got a set rate.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
so there are if they rate is 15, 20,000, then they getting 15, 20,000, and then that's not like for the night. That's like per show that they getting
Yeah.
that stuff. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
great.
right. So it's like if you ain't got a name, then you ain't making no money with comedy clubs. You just gonna be up there, you can get some publicity and hoping somebody see you. So
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And then try and get on like Jimmy Fallon and stuff like that.
right now, what a really good thing is, and I only recommend comedians do this when they are absolutely positively know that they are ready, and that's during the comedy festivals.
Mm.
Comedy festivals, um,
They have
don't
a
do
big one up in
competitions.
like Montreal, right?
Right. I'm actually that's another thing I gotta do when I get off here. I gotta send my video to the committee for the Montreal Comedy Festival.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
everything goes good with that, then I'll be up there in July. So that's where like Dave Chappelle got discovered at Montreal. Kevin Hart got picked up at Montreal. Like
Wow.
all these comedians, they get picked up at these comedy festivals, and you're like, where this dude
Right.
come from? Like I ain't seen, and then they just come out of nowhere because they go to the comedy festival. Because you do
Yeah.
competitions are horrible because judges have
Yeah.
the type that they like, and then you have an audience member that come in and just vote for you, and even if you suck, they vote for you. That's just
Yeah.
but the comedy
It
festival,
winds up more of a popularity contest than a comedy
Right.
right,
contest.
Right.
right, and then the comedy festival, they're going off of just straight. Are they funny?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a marketable look? Like, what's their thing? Like, can we do something with them? And it's not just other comedians there. You got the top agencies there. You got movie studios there. You got TV streaming services there. You got
Right.
TV studios there, and everyone's there to sign somebody.
Yep.
So it's like,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
excited
that's
for you. I'm excited. You have to let me know. You have to keep, send me a little note every once in a while. Let me know how things are going,
oh yeah, I
and,
will.
and how you're progressing.
Oh yeah, I will.
I'm
I
just trying to
will.
work a
Yeah.
backstage pass out of you, David. She's working it.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
pay. I just don't pay any attention to. I pretend that he's not even there sometimes.
Well,
He's just a figment of my imagination.
right. Well, I am working on trying to get some shows booked down there in Florida too. Cause my oldest son lives in Florida with his mother. So I
Okay.
have to go down there once a month anyway. So I'm like, I need to get some shows
Okay.
booked down there.
But up in Jacksonville?
No, he's in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not that far. Actually, I'm from Jersey. I come down here. This
Okay.
is my son. He's my co-host.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if you're ever up in Jersey, then let me know.
That's why I got
You
out
know.
of Jersey.
Not
Well,
to get away from me.
I'm working on the Jersey area also. I'm working on Jersey and New York. I'm working on all of them areas too. Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I gotta get into New York City.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Definitely.
The city's crazy. You have to be in there.
But Florida's a lot of fun. There's plenty of
Right.
lunatics down here. I love comedy.
Yeah.
Right. Well, wait, everyone keeps saying, man, you need to get to New York, see if you can hang with them up there, and then if you can hang with them, then you can do anybody. And I'm just like, I can make anybody laugh. I think I'll be okay with them.
Yeah.
Well, you made us
No,
laugh.
you kidding me? Hey, once you got it rolling and you feeling comfortable and you're in a rhythm, I
Oh
mean, it
yeah.
really doesn't matter where
And
you
and
are.
it yeah, and
You know,
it sounds
it's
like you're really in a good place with yourself and your
mm,
comedy and what you're doing. And
Yeah.
don't be afraid to be sexy. Don't ever be
Oh,
afraid to be sexy.
see you haven't seen the clip from the comedy special.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you've gotten over that hurdle. All right. Good for you.
Yeah. I'm bare chested for the whole special.
Okay.
oh,
All
there you
right.
Yeah.
go. There you
You
go.
There
know,
you go.
I just have a jacket on and no shirt, just bare chested, just
So
Yep.
there's a little magic mic in you, hey?
A little bit, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. So yeah. So like if you go to my Instagram after this and look at the trailer that I have on my page, and you'll see
Oh, we're
see
gonna
what
do
I'm
that.
Oh,
wearing
we're
on the
gonna do
screenshot.
that. Oh, trust me, we're gonna do
We're gonna
that.
take that trailer, blast it all over the 29 site, and put it on your bio on a when we air when we air your episode, we're gonna.
When I go home and do my YouTube, your trailer's going right up there.
Okay. Yeah.
She's gonna
Actually,
bang
I
in a
also
bucket of
got
popcorn. Just
I have I actually have a website also. I have a website that have
Yes,
10 minutes of
tell
the.
us where people can find you.
Okay, so my website is laughlloudjd.com. And so
laughlloudjd.com.
yeah,
Okay.
and it has my bio, has some pictures on there. It has the first 10 minutes of the comedy special is on there. So
Okay.
you get a 10-minute teaser of the first of the comedy special. So you get to see that, and then yeah. So
That's
we have some
perfect.
dates
Okay,
coming up
good.
soon for shows and everything.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to say goodbye.
Okay.
And it's been a pleasure to meet you, and you've been a lot of fun. So seeing you in person probably would be like the perpetual smile, like the Joker type of thing. And I'm happy that you were able to accept the invite, because this really has been a fun episode. And to all
Yeah.
of our audience, we are funnyminds.com, and you can go on our website. On there, you're going to find our store where we have a lot of crazy little things,
Okay.
under Funny Minds. Also, there's two organizations that we're very involved with, and that is Women's Breast Cancer and St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So when you go on, there's a big purple button. Please donate to them. We would love it. We'd be very happy, and you would make a lot of people very happy with the research and the help that they're doing in those areas. You can also find our emails on there. And so if you want to say anything to us, you like something, you don't, give us suggestions that you have somebody you think would be appropriate for our show, we'd be glad to hear from you. And with that, I'm going to ask everybody to be healthy, to be safe, to be wise, but to always laugh, because laughter is the best medicine. So
JD, thank you so much.
thank
Get out
you.
there.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yes.
Rock star.
You are, honey.
Kansas City, baby.
All right.
JD.
Bye-bye, JD.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
Be well.